everyone, and today I'm going to bring you along for a delicious mushroom recipe. I love mushrooms and they're so good for you, so it just makes it a win-win. This recipe though, it is good even if you don't like the texture of mushrooms, because my husband, he doesn't like mushrooms as in eating them, but he loves the flavor of mushrooms and he loves this soup. It is technically, I guess it would be considered a bisque, but it's mushroom soup, guys. Let's just be real. We don't need to be fancy in this house. It is soup, mushroom soup. But the reason it's good if you like the flavor but not the texture is we're going to puree all of it. So it's just going to be a solid consistency. So all I've done right now, okay, so this soup is easy, and let's get started. First thing I did was put down a slice of bacon, and I let that brown. I took it out, it's sitting on my cutting board, and now I have some butter in there, about 2 tablespoons, and you'll have to excuse me, I'll be doing this one-handed, at least for the time being, because one of the babies was just not happy. So, on our cutting board, we have 3 cloves of garlic, 2 ribs of celery, and 1 large onion. Medium to large onion. These don't have to be finely chopped, because again, we're going to puree this, so a rough chop is all you need to get this soup started. So let's see if I can. Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, now, the thing I love about this soup, well, I love lots of things about this soup. One of the things I like about this soup is that it's not something that you have every day, so it's a real treat. But it's so healthy, and you can wait until the mushrooms are on sale and then buy them up like I did. Because, guys, I do a monthly meal plan, and I live by my monthly meal plan. I love it. It makes life easy, and you just can't go wrong. However, I can also not pass up a deal like I found in the store this morning. 99 cents a pound. Or, not a pound. 8 ounces. 99 cents for 8 ounces, though. And they're originally, I think these are $2.99 for 8 ounces. So, excellent deal. And I got 3 of them. And then I got 2 shiitake mushrooms, 8 ounces, and they're $1.99, which is excellent because they're usually 3 something. So for this recipe, you'll need around 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of mushrooms. I'm not exact on this, guys, because like right now I have 2.5 pounds of mushrooms. Plus, I'm going to be putting in these beauties. It's a Monterey blend of dried mushrooms, and these have, let's see, they have dried porcini, boletes, I don't know if I'm saying that one right, shiitake, morel, oyster, and lobster mushrooms. So, that sounds delicious. But a lot of recipes that I have found for mushrooms is use portobellos or use shiitake or use a white mushroom or whatever. Now, granted, they do have different flavors, and sometimes it is better to use one mushroom over the other. But for this recipe, I say the more variety, the better it is. So I try to get as many different types of mushrooms as I can, and then I throw them all in the soup, because in the end, it's just going to be delicious flavor. So,
Mom. It's my.
So that's what we're doing. So I have, we'll just say 3 pounds of mushrooms, but you only need 1.5 to 2 pounds. But really it's just going to add more depth of flavor the more mushrooms that you have. So I will bring you back when I get all these chopped up and put a baby down. Okay, so we have had, just to recap, 1 onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 2 ribs of celery, and then we have 2.5 pounds, maybe more like 2, because once I got into those manager specials, there were a couple bad ones. So we'll just say 2 pounds of button and shiitake mushrooms. However, please use whatever's on sale or whatever you have on hand, because really, guys, I have made this with all kinds of variety mushrooms, different combinations, and every time it turns out good. So there is really no wrong way to do this, especially when it comes to mushrooms. We can't be prejudiced of our mushrooms or biased. And then in the bottom of the pan, I had about 3 tablespoons of butter, and I had browned off a slice of bacon to give some of the bacon flavor. And then I also put in some, just a tiny bit of grapeseed oil, just because it was looking kind of dry. So these have kind of softened up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and deglaze our pan, and we are doing that with brandy. Now if you don't have brandy, then don't worry about it. You can just deglaze it with our broth. But if you have brandy, or if you're wanting to go buy a thing of brandy, or go to the liquor store and buy a little shot, the little dollar shots of brandy, then do it. Because I have made it both ways, with and without brandy, because sometimes I either don't have the money to spend or don't want to spend the money, so I don't get it. But in a little bit, but I have it because I really wanted this soup with the brandy. So we're going to deglaze with brandy, and you only need, I'm going to do about, I'll measure it, 1/3 cup. I usually don't, but I got some good brandy, so I'm going to measure it. Between 1/4 and 1/3 cup of brandy to deglaze. And I swear this makes the biggest difference in flavor. It is ridiculous. I know some people out there don't like cooking with alcohol, but whew, let me tell you, it adds a depth of flavor that you just can't get by using just chicken broth. So, and all the alcohol burns out in the end anyway. Whew, that smells good. So we're just going to let that reduce down for about a minute. And then we're going to add in our broth. I'm using a mixture of beef and chicken broth. I have about 1.5 cups of each, and that's right there. 1.5 cups of each chicken and beef broth, and I'm actually using my beef bone broth in this. And then there is all those mushrooms that are that were in our blend of dried, and I just reconstituted them in there because it makes the best mushroom broth. So now we have like a mushroom stock with our beef and chicken. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. And yes, I'm still doing it one-handed. I've gotten kind of good at this one-handed thing. So, we're going to give that a stir. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Oh, love it. Love it. So, to this, we are going to add some black pepper, about a teaspoon, a little bit of Himalayan pink salt. You can use any kind of salt. I just prefer pink salt. And then some thyme, and I'm gonna say about a half a teaspoon of dried thyme, and then a quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And yes, I know, nutmeg, but we're putting it in. So give that a good stir. Turn it on just medium heat. For my stove, that's about 4. And then I'm going to put my lid partially on, and we're gonna let this.
Let me show you something.
We're gonna let this go for about 30 minutes. We're gonna let this go for about 30 minutes on the medium heat, just to get make sure all the mushrooms are completely reconstituted and all our herbs have a chance to reconstitute because they were dried, and I'll bring you back when it's time to put the immersion blender to it. Alright, so this is gone for 30 minutes and it is delicious. It does not need one thing. Now, the reason you're wanting to cook it is you want to make sure all your vegetables are soft enough to go through the immersion blender. Alright, so here it is. We added 1.5 cups of cream while we were blending because it was getting a little thick. But you need to add the cream anyway. I was just originally going to add it after. So 1.5 cups of cream, and here's the consistency. Beautiful. And so good. So earthy and creamy. Nothing better than that. I hope you enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to get all my delicious recipes or whatever I'm doing at the time. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.